What is going on, scooter friends? As I'm sure you can already tell by the sound, I have done some modifications to my scooter today. Not today, actually. I did them a little while ago. We got the Mnnthbx SP exhaust, as well as the TRS intake with the metal intake bracket. So we're just out today, getting a cruise. We're just going to be testing this out. I've actually had this installed now for probably about a week, I think. And I gotta say that it was easier than I thought. When you're on the Honda Ruckus Facebook group, you hear about people going, it's a nightmare, it doesn't run, it doesn't do this, it doesn't do that, it doesn't do the speed I want. I will say that I am wishing that I had a little bit more speed, but I haven't gotten the carburetor fully tuned in yet. Like here you see this is mostly flat right here. I'm holding 8700, doing 43 miles an hour. I do have my CDI coming in soon, mostly because while I can tune this without the CDI, I just figured I might as well just get it now and make my life easy. I am going with the Dynatech CDI to keep the rev limiter. As I've said in previous videos, it is pretty hilly in my area, not necessarily right here, but on my way to work there's quite a few hills, and I'd rather just not have to worry about the valve float issue. So we're not going to worry about that. I'm just going to call it a wash and go with the Dynatech. So we're going to drive down here. Now, if you recall from my CVT tuning video, which I'll put the numbers down below for what I got as a best of when I did that run. We're going to be doing that exact same setup today. We're just going to be filming this start to finish to you guys, and I'll talk about why I chose what I chose for my situation and some issues with my setup. And then once we get back to my house, we will when I get back to my house, I will show you the exhaust and stuff installed, and I will talk a bit about it. But so I went with the Mnnthbx SP exhaust, mostly because I liked the way it looked. I am a little bit sad that it doesn't sit as up as I thought. It's pretty much level, which you'll see later on. That it doesn't, I thought it cocked up a little bit, but it doesn't. It sits pretty much as level as the stock exhaust does. I hope you guys are able to hear that. It says we're doing 40, which is pretty nice. So we're going to be doing a little uphill jaunt here. I believe when I did this the last time, I started from this mailbox. I could be wrong. Now I know when I did this last time, I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but I think it was right around my phone fell out of the thing. That could have been bad. I'd like to say it was right around 26 miles an hour or 27, something like that, before I got to the top, just for a max speed. So we'll see. I mean, we're already at 23. It should, maybe it's not going to go up much more than that. I don't expect a huge improvement on the uphill speed anyways, although I am running the 5 grams instead of the 5.5 that I ended up with. We hit 27 there, Fred. 27. And we'll call that 27 or 28. What is this? A little farm stand there. So we'll go downhill. We'll get our top speed going downhill, which should be, the same as it was before, as the other set of 5 grams. And I'll be curious to see what I get with the intake and exhaust compared to what I got without it. I think right now it's going to be very close, just because I kind of threw this together and I haven't done any spark plug checks or anything like that. I just put it on and it ran fine, so I left it alone. 45 for a second. So that's probably the max. So I kind of just threw it on there, and I figured I'd sort it out later because it runs now. And I wanted to go to work. There's a few guys at my work that were interested to see what my scooter looked like. I had brought it there before on either Friday or Saturday, but I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and on Sunday and Monday there are different supervisors on, and they are both more the gearhead type. I mean, the guys on Friday and Monday are cool. They're into cars and stuff, but they're not really into scooters. So we are just gonna restart this real quick. We're gonna say that was 27 there. Alright, so we got an average speed of nothing right now, so we're gonna do our way back. Now I know that the other one was like 34 something. I know that much. I'm just gonna listen for cars real quick. I might have to reset this again because I didn't think about cars being out. So let me reset this one more time. Yeah, so I know the other one's about like 34 something. I do think that we will get close to that, if not beat it by a little bit. I mean, with these motors, every little bit that you get more is, obviously a big improvement. I mean, the fastest guys are only getting 15 more miles an hour top speeds, so I mean, anything that you get extra is a big improvement, basically. It's not like a car where, 2 miles an hour is like nothing. That's a lot for this. I also did just I just changed to the 5 gram rollers, so this may actually get a little bit faster once that belt and variator settle down again, because I did notice that after running for a while after I did the last CVT tuning video, that it seems like they ran a bit differently after I had left them in there for a while. Like, they seem to run a little bit faster. I'm not sure if it has to do with the belt needing to, recenter itself on the variator or something. I mean, I would think that it would do that right away, but maybe not. So I ended up going with the SP exhaust because, like I said, I like the way it looked, and the alternatives are all really expensive, and while they do push a little bit more air, the difference was not enough for me to want to make that leap to pay that extra money, like the Yoshi exhaust and stuff like that. If I was gonna do the NCY CDI, I would have went with the TRS Stage 2 kit, which does come with the Yoshi exhaust. The Yoshi exhaust is considered to be one of the better ones as far as speed goes, and pushing more exhaust, but I didn't want the NCY CDI, and I didn't want to pay for the crankcase breather, as you really don't need the crankcase breather. And as I said earlier, I wanted to go with the Dynatech CDI. Now, as far as the intake goes, you can save money on the intake. I bought my intake. It comes with 2 filters, the tube, and jets. Now, the jets that it comes with, you're not going to run anyways. You're going to run the idle jet, the 38. You are going to run that. You are not going to run that 85, though. I don't care where you live. It's not optimal. You basically want either a 78 or an 80, and to tune that, you're going to want to adjust your intake tube length. Oh, this is actually running better than I thought. Let's see, we are getting 35.1 past my house, which is great. So you're going to want to tune your intake tube length, which mine is actually a bit long right now. I believe I have an 82 main in there. When you pretty much, you need to be able to push the amount of air that's optimal for the carburetor, and if you're trying to push too much air, while it can push that amount of air, it's not going to go in smooth. And while it doesn't matter, you know, in a big car if it's not as smooth, it matters in something like this, and you can tune that by adjusting the intake tube length, which adjusts your velocity of air. Now, it doesn't adjust it by a huge margin, but it adjusts it enough to make a difference. So you can save money, though, by just buying the radiator hose yourself down at AutoZone. You can buy a piece of PVC and cut it yourself, and then you can buy the 2 filters yourself. The one that attaches directly to the car, I think, is like $5, and the other one is around like maybe 10 or 15 bucks, plus the hose another 10. Like, you're probably looking at $30. Now, of course, not the TVR intake, the TRS intake makes everything easy because you get everything all at once, which is why I went with it. I mean, I knew already that I could just buy the stuff, but I didn't feel like figuring it out. One thing to note is that your shape of your intake tube probably doesn't really matter that much. On my second tuning run with the intake tube that comes with the kit, I ripped it. So I'm not even running that intake tube anymore. I had to go buy another one, and they were out of stock of the correct one, which would be what TRS sends you, which is $10, because I found it online afterwards. So I ended up paying $30 for my tube, like an idiot, but mine's actually just an L shape now, and it runs basically the same as it did before, so I don't really have any complaints. What was I gonna say? So yeah, so let's get back to my house here, and I'll give you a look at the bike. As we said, I also got a new seat frame. I got the 6-speed lowered seat frame, which pushes it back, and I have a picture of this somewhere. Well, I'm probably not going to include it, but it pushes it back like another 2 or 3 inches over the OEM lowered style seat that I bought off Amazon. It does push it back a considerable amount more than that one, so I would definitely recommend getting the Blade or the 6-speed one. They're both the same thing, and they will do you well. So that's what I gotta say about that. Their downside is you do need to trim your seat frame plastic, which I will be able to show, and it is very hard to get your... It's very hard to get your seat open, which you'll be able to see in a second. This also may die. It's having an issue idling lately, something to do with the screw. Alright, so let's take a look. So this is the intake right here. Obviously it's just tube. You can see I bought the metal bracket. I did get a new screw for this. I'm trying to remember why. Oh, because the stock screw is very, very long, because the airbox is so large. Let me give you a look at this exhaust on the other side. Here's the exhaust. I mean, it's fine, you know. It's nice. I wished it was angled more up. That would have been kind of cool. Also, the install for the exhaust is super easy. You do not need to buy another exhaust gasket beforehand. The old one should be fine. Now let's show you the underneath. So this is the problem with this seat frame. So you see how tight this tolerance is right here? Like, you really got to jam your finger in there. I actually have to use my pinky to do it, and it hurts a little, I won't lie. Okay, there we go. So yeah, so you have to cut out this part right here so that this can swing down. And this actually you could trim more here and it would fit a little better. This actually still has to get kind of pressed down kind of hard. Just notice I don't have my bolts in. I have the front forward mount peg mounts coming soon, so, and I feel like screwing this all the way down. You also have trim right here, which I don't know if you can see, and a little bit right here around this where you have to push that thing in. I may trim this more just to make this easier to access. I don't necessarily need to go in here that often, but it would be nice. So anyways, that's where we're at right now with this. So we're waiting on parts, but we're getting like a 40 mile per hour, 41 area if I'm on completely flat. If I'm in my state, my way to work, there's a lot of flat roads. Up there I can hold 41, 42 consistently. With my 5.5 grams, So I'm hoping that now that I put in the the 5.0 gram Dr. Pulley rollers, I did not go with sliders, that with the CDI I'll be able to go just that a little bit faster, especially once I get the tune the rest of the way in. I think that I need to shorten my intake tube a bit more, and then I'll be able to run the 80 or 82 sized jet. And we should be good with that. But that is it. If you have any questions about this intake or this exhaust or the install or anything like that, feel free to leave comments down below. One thing I didn't talk about is the extra tubes. So the crankcase. Oh yeah, I want to talk about that a bit. I'll show you it real quick before I put this away. I'm actually not going to put this away. I'm actually going to trade helmets and then go to the store. And we're going to take a long ride. I might not be able to show you. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to show you. Alright, so down here in this area, which I can't show you right now, has a tube that comes out of it normally. And they sell a metal piece that goes over that. Let me turn this off. They sell a metal piece that goes over that to cover that up so you can get rid of the tube. If you buy that metal piece and you do not have a stretch, you cannot use the included Allen head bolts. It is blocked by the frame. So you need to reuse the old ones, and they are a little bit oversized, so they don't like to fit because the machined area is machined for the diameter of the hex head bolts, that the socket cap hex bolts that they send you. So that's a small problem. Your PVC one that comes from over here, you're just going to cut. I have it. It's like there's a little bracket in the very center that it runs through normally to run over to your airbox. I actually did not cut mine. I just folded it and put it back into that. There is one that comes from your gas tank over here, which is your overflow for the gas tank. It's going to come up here. That one I have cut, and it's like right here. Actually, I have it cut, and it's facing down over in that area. The other tube is going to come from your valve cover, and that's going to come off, come this way, and then it's going to come up right here. You're going to cut that, and that one, actually, I can show you right here. It's just cut off, and it's right here. And there's a little bracket right here that you can't see, but it just is held in right there. You will feel air coming out of that one. I have asked around, and everybody says that that's normal, and their bikes also do it. So I'm going to leave it alone for now, and we will see if anything happens or I have any updates on that stuff. I will let you guys know. But that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that some of this was maybe helpful for you guys. And when I get my foot pegs in and my CDI installed, I'll probably have both of those installed this week, and then I'll probably have a video on them next week because it's going to rain on Thursday over here. So I look forward to talking to you then. Anyways, you guys have a good day. Keep it rubber side down.